Hello there guys and girls, it is really good to see you. I've been working hard on AstroWizard behind the scenes since the last video, and there is a mountain of updates that I've put in there since that one, and really the big ones as things that have been requested quite a lot by people, which is XISF support that's been implemented now, and then a free way to do star removal. So I've basically got StarNet 2 speaking with AstroWizard now. So if you want to do that kind of thing, you need to download the StarNet 2 CLI tool. That's command line interface. It's really easy and simple to set up. It's totally free, of course, and basically AstroWizard can talk to it now. So you've got a free way to take the stars out of your image, and it really does work extremely well, I would say. So let's just take you through some of the basic updates that we've done. As always, if you want to download AstroWizard, the place to be is astrowizard.lucomatico.com. This is my website. I've, keep it updated. I pay for hosting and all that stuff, so it should be all nice and safe. If anybody's offering you this from anywhere else, I wouldn't trust it personally. Always come here for your downloads. I will say, by the way, I've noticed I need to update this after I finish this video. The files are expected to be a little bit bigger than that. So this was the old measurement. They've grown a tiny bit, so don't be put off if you download it and you see it's a little bit bigger than that in all cases. But anyway, I've added a fellowship system. So this is the Wizards Fellowship, and basically it's the list of people who've helped build AstroWizard through the support, effectively. So all these people have helped out directly, and it's a list that is continually growing. You know what I mean? I'm adding a few names to this every day so far while it's in its its infancy, and it's growing fast, and I just can't thank you enough, basically, guys. So if you have if you've used the tip jar, if you've joined my Patreon, if you've joined my YouTube members, if you've used my affiliate links or anything like that, you want your name on this list, I would be so happy to have you on here. I would be honored. So please do reach out, let me know what you want your name recording as. I would advise keeping it semi-anonymized, just given that it's going to be public facing data. I don't know if you want to share your name. Obviously I can't help sharing my name, it's everywhere, but maybe you don't want to do that. I don't know, just general advice right there. So you can see everybody's name's been shortened down to like David K, etc. But basically, yeah, I would love to have you on here, and I think it's a wonderful thing that we've been able to do, and it deserves to be celebrated. It really, really does. Some of the notes that people have left have just been so touching and heartwarming. I had one person, I won't mention the name, but they left some support through PayPal, and they said to me something that I'd not even thought of when I started AstroWizard, and it kind of removed the fog from my eyes almost, in a way that I thought, well, what we're building here is actually making a difference for people. Because what they said to me is that they're really interested in astronomy, but they've been struggling so much because they're visually impaired. But the natural design of AstroWizard, the big buttons and the visual simplicity, has allowed them to create images the likes of which they'd dreamed of. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know, it was just really touching. Anyway, it's that kind of thing. I want to celebrate, that you've enabled that to happen for that person, and for many others out there too. I keep getting messages, like I say, from people who've previously practically given up on post-processing, but are finding their feet once again in AstroWizard, and it's a wonderful thing that we've created, and we should all be proud of it, I think. But anyway, gone on at length again, and I really will try to respect your time with this and not make it too long. But the changelog, if you want to have a look, the last video we released was here, the Stretch Wizard, of course, and here we go. We've got the immortality update, the steady eyepiece, and now stars for everyone, and all the other stuff that's baked in. But I think the best way, of course, as usual, is to just fire up AstroWizard and show you it. That's usually the right way to do it, isn't it? So here we are within the app, by the way, front and center, where it belongs, the Wizards Fellowship. This is a dynamic button. If you click it, it will bring up the fellowship directly within the app, which is just, I don't know, I love it. I think it's so cool. I'll show you that in a sec. But also, it's got like an absolute bunch of different little callouts, if you like. So the stars thank Martin B.A., as you can see right there. So it'll cycle along through those and just say thanks to people at random. I think it's just super duper cool. What other app is doing that right now? I don't know, but I'm really proud that it's in here. So yeah, thanks to all of you guys, and thanks to everybody else so far. You've helped make this program what it is. I realize I've gone on extreme length now, but that's really something I want to bring some attention to. Let's load a file. I'm going to work on this right here. So this was from someone called Mo, who sent over a troublesome bit of data, and they want to have a share. And here it is. Let's process it in AstroWizard. It really is quite beautiful data, as it happens. So I'm going to check just by the by, unlinked and linked will both look good on this. There's no strong color cast either way. So I'm just going to go ahead with linked for now. And I do believe it is one-shot color broadband data. So we'll kick things off with that setup. Now you'll note the ghost is just down here in the bottom. So I don't really want to clip that off if at all I can help it. I'm going to use a small crop on this, an overall edge crop. You'll note possibly at this time as well that the UI has been ever so slightly reordered to be a little bit more respectful of your space. I noticed that when I was trying to do some testing on my own MacBook, the top bar, the UI was a little bit cramped, and now it feels better set up like this. So hopefully people on lower resolutions than I'm like using right here, 4K, should have a bit of an easier time with this setup. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and flip this data. I believe that Mo took it with a raster. Really wonderful data. I think that's one of the things that makes it so nice, is that those things are so fast. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it around to the orientation that I think most of us are used to seeing this in. And let's just take a look. Okay, next step. I'm going to run background smoothing, so that's GradientXTerminator just at defaults. You can see the bars are still functioning, still working well. This is the first time I've run AstroWizard today on my PC since this reboot. You will find that the first time you run any of these AI tools, they have an initial, like a fire up phase. So the next time I run it, it will work a lot faster than this. Go ahead, done here, and next step. Now we're going to do background neutralization. Just process through in a second on that. It's really quite big data, this. Normally I would bin it to speed things up, but I want to show you this thing full bore, if you like. I'm going to go ahead and run BlurXTerminator now. Such a wonderful tool, it really is. And you'll see the effects of that in just a moment on the screen, and it'd be another good opportunity to show you, of course, the hold to compare button too, so you can see what this is going to do. Just as that loads in, the difference there, like after and before, pretty big, pretty stark. I really love that thing. Thank you, by the way, to everybody who's been using the affiliate codes for these. Honest to goodness, you guys rock, and you've helped so much with funding this. You know what I mean? Just one more on that code to compare, because it's such just a fantastic tool. It makes this region really stand out as well, I think, given that it is a region quite dominated by stars, but we've got this beautiful structure in there as well to excavate, and making those star profiles a bit more small is key to that. Let's run NoiseXTerminator anyway. As we updated a long time back, you see there's GradientXTerminator noise reduction in here as well for people. So that's another 3 path through this tool. Obviously, I've got these RC tools, are the best in the biz. I'm gonna use them. So you know, why wouldn't I? That's those right there. But anyway, the second pass is almost done, and we can move on in just a second. Okie dokie, so that's finished, and we've got a beautifully noise reduced image right here. It's looking really tremendous. Next, anyway, we're going to try out the stretching wizard. I love this feature to bits. So we'll click this and we'll pick which one of these 2 colors we like the best. For me, this looks a little bit tinted, so I'm going to go with linked in this case. And then which level of stretch do we want? Well, as it happens, I could see that I could fiddle around with custom if I wanted, but right now I like this. Deep colors, looks like it's almost there right away, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and click that. That's our image now stretched. As soon as we click next, that's locked in. We're ready now to apply the final polish, and that didn't take long, did it? Even while I'm messing about explaining stuff. But another big change that came in during this this release cycle was the replace stars button has grown up a little bit. So when someone suggested that we should add perhaps a way to alter the intensity of stars, which was a fantastic suggestion, by the way, it did highlight a problem with the math for putting those stars back in, when it was very accurate when it was around about where the stars came out. So that one value, the baseline one value. But when you started moving towards the extremes of the slider, it got increasingly more error prone, if you like, to the point where it could like take out stars that should be in. And anyway, long story short, after some battling, it is now sorted out fully, and there's the option, by the way, as well, for just a simple addition or a full screening of your stars as they go back in too. So really, really cool to see that. Now, if I just go ahead and I'll get the stars where I want them before I take them out, basically. So I want a bit of masked saturation on this. I'm particularly looking in this case to get a bit of color around these brighter stars right here. And I think it's starting to look really good now. Maybe one more click. And yeah, I like that. Any more would probably be just too much now. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the stars. Could, of course, go the free path with this. I will just go ahead and use StarXTerminator. It's really cool that this option is there for people, thanks to the developer of StarNet 2, that it's there. Look at that. Wow, Mo's data on this is something else. It looks really, really wonderful. Such a dusty region. I'm going to go ahead and color balance at this point now. So you can see it's tinted things very slightly green. This is not a panicking thing that we should worry ourselves about. Just hit green, be gone. That's dropped that tint down a good bit. Now, if you notice the colours going one direction only over too much, again, I've pointed these out before. We've got add warmth and cool down, and that comes really from like painting, basically, where you're always trying to analyze the colours and really think about the temperature of them in a way. Like, does this need to be cooler? Does this need to be warmer, sort of thing? And I felt like it was a natural fit right away for AstroWizard, basically, because it's kind of a self-explanatory phrase, and I'll try to demonstrate that for you as well over the course of this. So I'll add a bit more saturation, and maybe we'll go ahead and apply some curves too to this and really bring things up. So I'm going to use a all color curve, bring up this data a good bit. Look at that. Wow. Maybe I'll pull down on the lows very, very slightly. Again, this is just that semi-advanced stuff. If you're not confident with curves, you absolutely don't have to use them to get a beautiful image from AstroWizard. But let's say, I feel like the image is a little bit too warm or whatever. You could hit cool down. And if we just give it a moment, there you go. You can see it's altered the profile of the color in all that dust. And if you want to make it a little bit more custom as well, you can click the spell icon itself, the little spell book thing, and you can make the changes that you need to do right there. And you can see the default layout of those spells too. And hopefully in having those there, you can become a bit more confident with experimentation with curves, as you've got sort of a playbook to learn from right there. I do want to add more spells to this book for you guys as well down the line, but I am noticing things have gone a tinge green, so we'll try green be gone once more on this, and that is looking absolutely phenomenal on my screen. That's looking balanced and just beautiful, basically. So I'm going to say it's time to put the stars back into this. Now, this is a great opportunity, of course, to demonstrate to you the replace stars button. Now, you may notice there is only one replace stars button, and that's because it's quite smart. It interfaces neatly with the output from both of these. So whether you've used StarXTerminator or StarNet 2's CLI, it will work with either. We've got the additive version of putting your stars back in, so you could brighten them or reduce them, basically a long way. Or you can use the screening method too, which I usually do prefer, and you can be quite aggressive with this now. So if I want to drag it all the way down and really diminish the stars on this image and let the nebula speak for itself, you can. And I think you can probably see how easy that was. It's taken me moments to come up with a really, really wonderful rendition of the iris, thanks to this wonderful data as well. But also, as I've said, not to toot my own horn with this, but the power of AstroWizard is it's really up there. Quite pleased with it. Anyway, I've gone on extreme length. Hopefully you can see the things that we've added to this are really rather cool. And one last thing I'll talk to you about as well is now you've got the option to just save your image as normal. That was always there. But if you want to save a stars only image for any reason, you can do that. And if you want to save a starless version as well, you can do that here too. So everything you could want, I think, is just about there. And another link to the fellowship should you wish to see your own name there up in lights once again. Anyway, thanks ever so much, guys, for your support, for watching. As I've said, and I really do mean it. I say it time and time again, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's true. I appreciate you. I really, really do, and I hope that you know that. It's your kindness and support is absolutely not lost on me. So thank you. I will see you in the next video, hopefully with other stuff to cover. Not always just AstroWizard, I realise, but I felt like it's time to put my foot on the throttle with this and get this to where it needs to be, and it's really closing in. Catch you in the next one. Clear skies.